Masani, how do you do? Mirel Masani, how do you do?
As most of you ladies know, the biggest turnoff for legacy or case strategist marrying affluent men in a woman's wardrobe is to dress too sexually, too raunchy, too desperate and thirsty, to pick me, look at me, I'm so desperate. This is not someone a man would think would be an excellent and faithful mother for his children, and not someone who could leave a legacy. While dressing too sexy turns off legacy-minded, marriage-minded, affluent men, it does not turn off the players who do want a sexy woman they can take advantage of and pump and dump. So for all strategists or immature case strategists like Ronaldo who are not envisioning marriage in their near future, dressing too sexy is not a problem at all. While affluent players versus affluent marriage-minded men have different opinions on modesty, both of them have something in common, which is the number one thing that turns both of them off. What look do affluent men find looks the cheapest, is the lowest status, and the biggest turn-off, regardless whether they are a player or a marrying man? The look that defines middle-class basic women. That is, dressing like everyone else.
Elite men want to show off their status, that they have finally attracted the special lady. The way women show off their status with handbags, elite men tend to show off their status with who they have as a wife or girlfriend. So having a basic Betty or a woman who dresses like everyone else is not a status symbol, and the average middle-class women shows that a man doesn't have much game, right? That he doesn't have much money if he's with a woman who looks, sounds, and acts like everyone else. So, to attract an elite man of means and character, you have to differentiate yourself from the competition. Today, continuing on my series on how to dress for intergenerational wealth, we'll be talking about authenticity and developing your own personal style, because that is one of the principles that is integral to attracting a man of elite society and high caliber. Artists, in a way, are very alpha in that they have their own identity, which makes them high value and very interesting, even if they're broke, to be a friend of an elite person, because the artist loves what they do, has this Dolce Vita, enjoys their life, is living their best life, and is themselves, and is authentically themselves, and that's what makes the artist attractive to a high value person. And the same artist that is so attractive to a high value person is laughed at by low class people for being eccentric. Oh, haha, the artist is crazy, ha ha ha. But for an elite person, oh my gosh, how fascinating Picasso is, right? Elite ladies have their own brand and their own personal style, which is what I'm illustrating today, is the diplomat style, which is rather common in the foreign service around the world. So, for example, I have classic chic style with my suit and a Yemeni necklace. So they have a twist to show where they travel, for example. Lower class women all dress like each other like a uniform and shame people into conforming, when no one tells elite ladies, like my father was the advisor to Yemen's president, no one told me how to dress. People sucked up to me and would copy what I wore, and I found them creepy. That's really how it is, right? So when nobody tells you what to wear and they just copy whatever you do as if you're anointed goddess of divine something or other, so you develop your own style, and that's why elite women all have different styles, and their stylist will develop a different style based on their personality. Elite brands usually personalize things to make it suit the personality of the affluent lady. Elite women also hire a stylist to develop their own authentic personal style. Their style will be authentic and perhaps eccentric, but it will fit in within the lines of K strategy. So they will not be wearing all strategy symbols. So you will rarely see an elite woman covered with tattoos. Maybe one, but not covered with them because it's an all strategy symbol. You will not see them showing all their body parts like meat in a tape dress with everything, right? Because that is an all strategy symbol. So affluent women will make sure to stay within the confines of K strategy to show that they have an interest in legacy and intergenerational wealth. But within that style, they don't dress like a nun or priest, and they do have fun. I studied at Richard Robinson. That's one of the only haute couture academies in North America. And my boss studied under Mr. Christian Dior and Mr. Yves Saint Laurent, rather under Mr. Dior's craftsman, because he was there shortly after Mr. Dior died, and also was personally mentored by Mr. Yves Saint Laurent. I will have Yves Saint Laurent products coming up for review from Nordstrom's, so stay tuned. What I learned from Richard Robinson is we had a marketing course, and Cayenne Creative graciously came over. And at the time, hipsters were really in, and as you know, I'm anything but a hipster. And I thought, should I have my brand as a modified hipster? And they said, certainly not. Maria, if you want to get ahead, you have to be the best Maria out there. You have to be the best Maria out there and find other Marias like you. If you pretend that you're a hipster living in Williamsburg and create a brand, guess what will happen, Maria? There will be a real hipster from Williamsburg who's an actual Rockefeller or Vanderbilt who will see, oh my gosh, you created a free following, all this free money, and the real Slim Shady will stand up. The real hipster will stand up and run away with your money, Maria. So don't do that. Be authentic. Who is Maria? And that's when I started thinking, who am I? And that's how, initially it was a bit of a blog, Almasani Royal Style, but I developed Almasani Royal House, as I have minor nobility from the Russian and Arab side, and it's definitely me, right? And people who are into the sort of things I'm into would find me. I started with Arab weddings. It's important to have your own brand and know who you are instead of copying others, which becomes very creepy. Who are you? Notice that affluent families, royal families, all have a crest, right? So Russian and Arab minor nobility don't have a crest, but usually most European nobility do, and that's a form of branding. Very often elite like to put their initials and embroider their initials rather than put some logo somewhere. So elite like to have their initials embroidered everywhere because that's a personal brand. They will often have a signature color, a signature perfume, and something that signifies their brand when they walk into a room, so you know it's them when they walk into a room. Those who marry for legacy have a very stable brand. It doesn't keep changing. So, though I started with Arab weddings, with the pandemic I had to change, right? And I changed to dressing for personal and professional success. And I intersected with the level up community there. And at the same time, I haven't changed the essence of my brand. I just changed the product, but the brand remains the same. I'm consistent, and that shows that I'm a key strategist. What you shouldn't be doing is having a brand you develop and you pretend you're someone you're not, right? That you show up as the person you wish you were. Well, people discover you're a fraud, and that's how they'll think of you. So don't show up as someone you're not. Instead, work to become the person you wish to be and be open about it, that you wish you were this way, or you admire this, or you admire that. But be authentic. For example, I might admire the Queen Elizabeth, I might admire Duchess Catherine, but in no way, shape or form do I pretend that I come from a British aristocratic heritage. It's ridiculous. I don't run around wearing British hunting jackets in Canada, because in Canada we don't typically hunt at the cottage, we fish. If I pretended that I was British aristocracy just because I had some elocution lessons, that would be inauthentic, cheap, and disgusting, right? I know some ladies on Tattle complained about my accent. Well, I'm an immigrant. This is my immigrant accent. Therefore, it's not perfect. Therefore, it does not sound native. It sounds like I had elocution lessons. After I read the book Bulletproof, I decided that I needed them. Just like Evie said that she was also studied intelligence. I studied intelligence, she worked in the field. And she said it's very important for television to have a voice that people can understand what you're saying and don't get too distracted by your voice. So being half Arab and half Russian, my accent did sound too much like this, mixed with something like this. Mashallah, and combine these two. It wasn't very clear, and people would be distracted by my accent, so I did have some elocution lessons. I don't sound perfect, but that's how I am, right? And some women say, well, it's inauthentic. Well, it's my fourth language. I'm sorry, ladies. However, if I pretended that I'm some sort of British aristocracy just because I took some elocution lessons, right, that would be very disgusting. Affluent ladies have their products customized to tell the story, and a lot of brands try to cater to something that tells a story that's relatable to affluent ladies and their hobbies. You will see quite a few equestrian things, opera references, right? Yacht references, as you know. So polo, anything to do with affluent hobbies, high society brands tend to represent, because someone who loves their hobby genuinely and loves polo would likely enjoy something from Ralph Lauren. So a friend of mine, her daughter is an equestrian, and she loves the Dior saddlebags, right? Because, oh my gosh, it reminds me of my cute horsey and the great time I have, right? What is your joy? How can you share your joy to the world within the confines of key strategy and dressing for intergenerational wealth? And I interrupt this beautiful coverage to say a thank you to my sponsors. Thank you so much. So, to conclude, my dear elegant ladies of tattle, if you are so kind as to continuing to promote me for free and doubling my views, I can also tell you who the mole in tattle is who's working to promote Barnaby. So, ladies, please like, share, and subscribe. If you don't like, please hate, because haters, as you can see, are the ones who bring me the most views. Have a lovely day. Ciao.